there all day.
Hi guys, welcome to
Stay
the
there all day.
welcome to the Truth Factor where we do headlines with an attitude. Okay, guys, you can't see my face right now because I'm in the middle of getting highlights done, and so I've got a frosting cap on, and we're doing color frost. But anyway, and I am in the middle of color, so I have it on my head.
Incognito.
I'm incognito. So, but we have a lot of updates. And guys, I have to tell you, there is issue. Hi, MG. Uh, okay, so when I was setting up my stream, it said that Facebook was having issues. So I want to welcome my Facebook subscribers because, guys, we normally don't do headlines on Facebook, but it was saying that there's so many people over 11 hours ago were reporting issues with Facebook. So I don't know if there's issues or not right now. It looks like we're good to go. Biden is talking live with the Australian Prime Minister and warning China about the Philippines. Yeah, we covered that article the other day about Biden warning the Chinese that he was going to take the Philippine side. So yeah, we're spread really thin, Watchmen. That's for sure. That is most definitely for sure. We covered that here. I don't know, yesterday, the day before yesterday, something like that. But anyway, so with all of the things that are taking place, you best know that news suppression is at its height. And so if you guys, if you can share this stream out, I would appreciate it with everybody because I think I'm going to cover a lot of stuff that people may not be aware of. Now, I'm going to check really quick because Hal Turner, he's taken a hit. And I'm telling you, he's taken a hit. Yeah, still, they've taken him back down. But I have been able to screenshot the one and only article that he was able to get out today, guys. So just know that for those people that are subscribed to Hal Turner, it's a problem. It's an internal problem, I guess, with his servers. I don't know, but you can't find a Hal Turner article today. That's if you do, you're blessed. So even just looking up old things because it's his server itself, they've hit his site. So without further ado, guys, because like I said, I am really pressed for time today. I'm going to hit these articles as quickly as possible and just share what's going on. But we do have quite a few things, but I'm going to start with this here. And I have all of these screenshots. So I just want to try and make sure. It might take me a minute to get to navigate through this because I want to make sure that we start with how it's in order. So, and I'll try and make sure that we're on the right page here. Okay, so it says something has gone wrong with this website. This is from Hal Turner. I cannot publish any articles when I try publishing anything. The news content, the server refuses it. If the article contains nothing of substance, like the one you're reading right now, it goes through and publishes. But if the article headline or lead sentence contains any actual news, smash, rejected. I am going to try to sneak through news items below, but if I alter the headline, smash, reject it. Let me make sure that is the okay. The Middle East is spiraling out of control. The ongoing war between Hamas and Israel is causing all sorts of collateral trouble around the world. None of it is getting better. All of it is getting worse. This morning, President Recep Erdogan of Turkey said publicly, Hamas is not a terrorist organization. It is a group of mujahideen fighting to protect their lands. In a speech to the Turkey parliament, Erdogan made clear his position. He talked about the indiscriminate bombing of Gaza and then said Israel will not achieve anything by raining bombs on children, irrespective of whether the U.S. is behind you or not. And pointed out, oh, Israel, this West owes you a lot, but Turkey does not. Then, shockingly, Erdogan said, we will do everything against Israel diplomatically and militarily if necessary. He then canceled energy deals between Turkey and Israel and also canceled a scheduled trip to Israel. Ominously, Erdogan also said, when the powers that they rely on today are gone tomorrow, the first place that Israeli people will look for trust and mercy will be Turkey, just like 500 years ago. He finished by offering a sort of olive branch by saying, we are ready to be one of the guarantors, the Palestinian side, with our humanitarian. Let's see. I don't know. Hold on. Okay. With our humanitarian, hold on. Political and military presence, we invite countries with the will to evaluate our offer. Here are Hal's remarks. I spoke this morning to several of his former colleagues. And one told him, don't you see, it's just a matter of time before every single Muslim nation sides against Israel. Erdogan's speech is a signal the global war is about to begin. Elsewhere, referring to the 2.3 million people in the Gaza Strip, the Prime Minister of Qatar said publicly, told him cutting water, electricity, food, and medicine from civilians is unacceptable. Libya is officially ejected the ambassadors from the US, UK, Italy, and France. Libya accused these countries of supporting the Israeli genocide, Palestinians in Gaza. Libya also called for a halt to oil and gas exports to countries that support Israel. And the Yemen leader of Yemen's Ansarullah movement announced Yemen is ready to mobilize hundreds of thousands of people to fight alongside. I have a picture I guess you guys didn't get, but it says Jordan's King Abdul today, French told President Emmanuel Macron that ending the war in Gaza was an urgent necessity and warned that there could otherwise be an explosion in the region. At the United Nations in New York, even the Secretary General spoke against what Israel is doing, saying even in war, there are rules. Earlier this month, speaking at a UN general debate on the Middle East in New York, Guterres created fury when he said it is important to recognize the attacks by Hamas did not happen in a vacuum. The Palestinian people have been subjected to 56 years of suffocating occupation. In response to those remarks, Israel announced today it is banning United Nations representatives from visiting the country to teach them a lesson. Iran's Ayatollah Khamenei publicly said this morning the Zionist regime has suffered a decisive blow. It has been wounded and is crippled. The West is struggling to keep it on its feet using weapons and bombs, he added. Palestine will definitely be victorious. Confronting the Muslim fighters, and it will also be incapable in the future, he added. The United States is complicit in the attacks on women and children, with the U.S. redeploying the USS Dwight Eisenhower aircraft carriers and strike groups toward the Persian Gulf. Iran is deploying missiles and drone units of the Army and the Revolutionary Guard on the shores of the Persian Gulf and the Seaman of Oman. Images of weaponry massing on the Persian Gulf. Ali Fadavi, IRGC Deputy Commander-in-Chief, made a remark publicly this morning, which has caught the attention of American military planners. He said, we have technologies in the military field that no one knows about, and the Americans will know about them when we use them. On Tuesday's news agency close to Iran's IRGC, Israel for its part, is like clockwork. The Israeli Air Force is hitting the runway of Aleppo airport in Syria, shutting down what they say is the key Iranian-Syrian delivery link. Syrian media is confirming this additional Israeli airstrike against the Aleppo airport. It marks the third time the airport has been hit in recent weeks. Now, guys, he's got covert intel, but I don't know if his site is having issues, if you'll even be able to access that. It says the article contains beneath the green shaded area below, which is for subscribers only. But there is more content down at below that. German special forces are gathering in Cyprus and preparing for possible military evacuation operations, according to Major General Dirk Faust, the commander of the Joint Task Force. Hal Turner, things are going out of control. Everyone is losing control of the situation. This is the most dangerous moment of the modern era. World leaders are flocking to their designated teams, making bold, brash statements and flexing their muscle. I can't see this going away at this point. Everyone is getting involved now. Israel is quickly making and becoming surrounded by enemies, whether justified or not. The WW3 chess pieces are rapidly maneuvering into place now. Israel cannot sustain a long, drawn-out war from multiple fronts. It really kicks off. It really kicks off. The only solution to save Israel will be multiple nuclear strikes in multiple Islamic countries. Sorry to say this is so bluntly, but this is, I'm not going to say it, the F word up scenario. It's quickly trending to a nuclear Armageddon in the Northern Hemisphere. Plus, we have 5,000-ton elephant in the room here inside the USA. There's a huge fifth column in terms of all these fighting age male illegals they imported in. And that is all from what he did get out. And like I said, I don't know. I'm going to try and see if and see he's still not online yet, guys. Anyway, so definitely there is a lot taking place. I've got two articles up here that we're going to cover from War News 247 real quick. Surprise mobilization of nuclear triad over Iran. The R-29 RMU, Sineva, and ICBMers launched deployed for massive retaliatory strike. So Putin gave an order for the sudden mobilization of the country's nuclear arsenal as the Israeli ground operation in Gaza is about to begin, and no one knows how it will develop. The Russians have so far not confirmed that this is an annual exercise of the Strategic Nuclear Deterrence Forces called GROM, which causes particular concern. According to Russian information, NATO will further strengthen its forces in the Eastern Mediterranean in the next few hours, which accelerated the developments. Russia held this here from Anton Grushenko. Russia held a training exercise of massive nuclear strike. The Yars mobile launcher, a nuclear submarine, and 2 strategic missile carriers were involved in the strategic nuclear force exercise. Allegedly, ballistic and cruise missiles were launched during this exercise. Russia has conducted exercises of its strategic nuclear deterrence forces charged by President Vladimir Putin, the Kremlin announced on Wednesday. Under the leadership of the Supreme Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Russian Federation, Vladimir Putin, training took place with the forces and means of the land, sea, and air, elements of the nuclear deterrent forces. During the training, practical launches of ballistic missiles and cruise missiles were carried out, the Kremlin said in a statement. During the exercises of Yars, intercontinental ballistic missiles was launched from the Pelesk Cosmodrome at the Kura missile test site in Kamacha, the Kremlin said. Additionally, in Sinava, ballistic missiles was launched from the Barents Sea by the strategic nuclear submarine Tula Tu-95MS long-range strategic bombers, which launched cruise missiles, also took part in the exercises, the statement said. The objectives were fully achieved, the Kremlin added. Shongi also said the Russian air forces would conduct complex nuclear strike drills in response to enemy nuclear strike. The annual GROM strategic nuclear exercise under the leadership of Putin is now underway in Russia. Russia's defense ministry showed in the chief general staff, Gersmov, reported to Putin about the course of the exercise, the RS-24 Yars intercontinental ballistic missile. The chiefs of the Russian General Staff and Ministry of Defense have told Vladimir Putin about conducting the drill that involves conducting a nuclear strike in response to the enemy's nuclear attack against Russia. Russia's defense ministry Shog and the chief of the General Staff, Gersmov, briefed Putin on the course of the exercise. The RS-24 Yars intercontinental ballistic missile was launched from Police Cosmodrome at the Kura training field in Kamaka. We're going to try and just get the black stuff if there's any more italic bold heading, guys. Like I said, there's quite a few art videos that you could watch in there, but we just don't have time. So I'm trying to get through this, guys, as quickly as possible. Erdogan moves to the final phase of the Turkish plan for Gaza. Hamas is not a terrorist organization, but a patriotic organization of liberators. It seeks a strategic defeat to Israel in order to implement the Turkish plan. Turkish President Recep Erdogan has decided to kill this time for good relations with Israel, describing Hamas as a patriotic organization of warriors, the Mujahedin, fighting to protect its lands and people. Erdogan is entering the final phase of Turkey's plan to defeat Israel in the upcoming Arab-Israeli war in order to sit at a negotiating table and force the establishment of a Palestinian state. Turkey intends to be declared the guarantor country of the new Palestinian state, along with Egypt and perhaps Saudi Arabia. It is no coincidence that Erdogan today called for the establishment of an independent Palestine and the organization of a conference between Israel and the Palestinians, proposing Turkey as the guarantor of any future agreement. He then added that the West is beholden to Israel, not to Turkey, while also announcing that he will not visit Israel. Erdogan's proposal for Gaza, full ceasefire between Israel and Hamas, negotiating to immediately facilitate the release of prisoners of war, humanitarian corridor to Gaza, the regional conference in the Palestine. So far, Erdogan's visit to Israel canceled. Turkish energy minister's visit to Israel canceled. Freezes energy talks on natural gas pipeline with Israel. Reacting to Israel's attack on Gaza, the Turkish president said the entire West has joined Israel in viewing Hamas as a terrorist organization. Israel, the West may owe you a lot. The Turkey owes you nothing. Israel cannot go anywhere with this mentality. At the same time, he did not fail to mention that Turkey is ready to be the guarantor country for Palestine. Both the political and military presence in a world full of living dead will continue to speak the truth and implement political and even military measures if necessary. We will do everything we can. We will not compromise. In his speech before his party's caucus. Half of the dead are children. The other half are mothers and family elders. This alone is enough to show that there is an atrocity. You cannot find another army that sets fire to hospitals, places of worship, and markets that continues this inhumane act. And he continued in the same vein. Israel is killing children. We cannot never allow that. I said this to the prime minister in Davos. I said, you know very well how to kill. I haven't been to Davos since that day. I shook Netanyahu's hand once in my life in Turkey and in America. He abused our goodwill. We had planned to go to Israel, but we canceled it. They're absurd. Our goodwill, our Israel. You can't go anywhere with this mindset. Take either the U.S. or the West with you. America will also lose. The whole point is to establish a just world. No one can sleep peacefully in a world where parents hold their children's bodies. It also applies to any country where there is no barrier. It is time to speak about the plight of those who turned their backs on the truth with acts that cannot be compared to these massacres, justifying attacks in the West legacy from its bloody history. In its furious speech, Erdogan said, referring to Israeli attacks on Gaza in a retaliation for a bloody attack by Hamas on October 7th, that you will not find any state whose army behaves with such inhumanity, before calling for the immediate end to the fire and declared that Muslim countries must take action for sustainable peace, attacked Western powers who shed tears for Israel and do nothing else, lambasting their inability to restrain Israel. The fact that those who mobilize the world in favor of Ukraine have not spoken about the massacres in Gaza is the most blatant witness of their hypocrisy, he said. Innocents will continue to die in Gaza. No ship or aircraft sent to our region will bring peace. Earlier, Turkish Foreign Minister Hakan Fidan said an Israeli ground operation in Gaza would turn fighting into the Strip into a massacre, adding that those who support Israel's actions in solidarity support its crimes, and warned that the world that only possible outcomes of Israeli-Palestinian conflicts are a permanent peace of world war. Uh, the president of Turkey spoke by phone with Russian counterpart Vladimir Putin about the war in the Middle East. As Turkey presidents announced, the two leaders discussed the course of the escalating conflict between Israel and Palestine and humanitarian crisis in the region. Erdogan pointed out that the brutality against the Palestinian territories is deepening in civilian deaths and increasing every minute. The president stated that the silence of the Western countries is making the humanitarian crisis in Gaza more difficult. On the same wavelength as Erdogan, the devout Bachel, who is in a speech to the parliamentary group of his party, confirmed the reports that spoke of Turkey's military presence in Gaza. He characteristically said, if necessary, we will go to Gaza before dawn. He added that either a truce will come or Turkey will intervene in every cruel and effective way. He accused the Islamic States of doing nothing. Whenever the Turkish people do something in Gaza, the security of Ankara starts from Jerusalem. What Bachel said in detail, 24 hours have passed. The Republic of Turkey must be ready and determined for any kind of intervention and struggle in the name of humanity and cultivate the climate of peace and solution, he said during a speech at his party's conference. So, guys, if you remember the other day, we read an article that said that Turkey had called for 24 hours, and he's saying here that the 24 hours had passed, and so they're making note that they gave them 24 hours. So, guys, I think that at any moment you could see something really kind of just spiral into oblivion over there. If we have to go to Gaza, no one should worry. With God's help, with the admiration of the Al-Aqsa Mosque, we know very well to go wherever we need to go, and that too before dawn. So again, I guess he's saying that before dawn, they're going to be in Gaza. That's what I'm taking, guys. That is what I'm taking from this. Let the children not die. Let the babies and women not die. May the tyrants be destroyed. Curse the slaughterers. There is no hope for the Islamic conference. No result came from the Cairo Peace Conference on Gaza. The Islamic States helplessly watch the bombing of Gaza, while the protection of Gaza is the responsibility of the Turkish people. Either a truce will be reached on all sides, sit at a table for a two-state solution, or Turkey will consider all possibilities to protect Gaza in the toughest, most effective, and superior way. At the same time, Devet Bacheli opposed calls for immediate intervention in the Gaza Strip in the event that Israeli attacks do not stop within the next 24 hours. As a nationalist movement, our decision is the following. If a ceasefire is not reached within 24 hours from today, if the attacks do not stop, if the bombs continue to fall on the oppressed, then Turkey should immediately intervene and do what is necessary based on this historical, humanitarian, and her religious responsibility. It is the legacy of our ancestors to preserve and protect Gaza, he emphasizes. So, whenever he gave this warning the other day, more bombing persisted. So, guys, I don't know. I think things are not good there. I think that things are going to get worse, and we're in this very. I'm just praying that there is intervention. There will be prayer before tonight, guys. So join me back here for prayer. Netanyahu, Israel is in a fight for our existence. Ground op coming to destroy Hamas. So Netanyahu is saying that they're going to do it. They're going in. They're not stopping. The Times of Israel is live blogging Wednesday's events as they happen. Biden settlers attacking Palestinians in places they're entitled to be. It must stop now. IDF says fighter jets destroyed Hezbollah military compound observation post. That was 15 minutes ago. So you can see that the bombing is still continued. 29 minutes ago, the IDF spokesperson says Gaza airstrikes continue to boost Army's position ahead of ground offensive. So, guys, I guess they're not concerned with Turkey. They're going to continue and push, but we're going to pray and we're going to see if we can't have God intervene here. We also have Russia and China hope to turn the tables on America as Mideast crisis grows. Guys, we've seen multiple articles right here in this very in this channel about how Russia and Putin and Xi Jinping have gotten so close. They're act like best buds. This is something that we knew would probably possibly come to bite us in the butt. This cherry picked friendship. Since Russia has invaded Ukraine, the United States has sought to isolate Moscow and pressure China to keep its distance. With war in the Middle East, Russia and China are seeking to turn the tables. According to Yahoo News, the United States has cast Russia as the disruptor of the international order at the Security Council, with Joe Biden compromising the world body that Washington would use its veto only sparingly. But the United States went ahead and vetoed a draft resolution last week it deemed insufficiently supportive of its ally. And so, again, this is just, I feel we've already covered this. And it's in the link here, guys. And then we have from Zero Hedge, guys, Israeli delays the Gaza invasion as the U.S. scrambles to put missile defenses in place. If this is the article, guys, there was a place, it says, as the WSJ detail. Okay, here it is. Also, yesterday, the NSC spokesperson John Kirby issued unprecedented words saying that more innocent people are going to die in Gaza. This is war. It is a combat. It is bloody. It is ugly, and it's going to be messy. Innocent civilians are going to be hurt going forward, he stated in a press briefing. The U.S. has warned Iran against its proxies attacking U.S. forces in the region. As the WSJ detailed further, even though the White House has been pressing for more humanitarian aid to get into Gaza, it remains that the threat of the U.S. troops are paramount concern. U.S. officials said the U.S. military and other officials believe that American forces will be targeted by various militant groups once this incursion begins. Well, they've already been hit 13 times. We've already heard about 13 attacks that have already taken place. So it is just, it's absolutely atrocious what is taking place. We need peace. We're praying for peace, and we pray that the Lord will intervene. Then we also have this taking place. Guys, we have anti-Semitism walkouts everywhere. We have a Texas high schoolers chant infamous slogans viewed as call to wipe Israel off the map. Guys, this is not good. This is not good. And all you have to do is read your Bible. If you curse Israel, you will be cursed. These people, Lord, they do not know these things. They can't possibly know these things and utter these atrocities. And then we have, guys, I've got to go. We have this. Did you know that the four horsemen of the apocalypse are the same colors as the Palestinian flags? It's just an opinion piece, guys. You can look at it, but I thought that was an interesting, again, just as if we needed anything else to remind us how this is so biblically. It's just uncanny, right? Anyway, we also have global insecurity. I know. Global insecurity could lead to prescription drug shortages. Be prepared. Just a reminder, guys, that this could lead to a lot of things. And we also have Trump warning the U.S. is more vulnerable from inside terror attacks than ever. So, as if we needed to be reminded that, I just wanted to throw that in. I do, guys. I really am pressed for time, but I wanted to get these articles out there. I didn't delete it, Ryan. I promise I didn't. I don't think anybody here is, it could be, the good old, just automatic. Sometimes these things happen. It is indeed, right? So, anyway, if you guys can share this out, I I will be doing a prayer for the whole situation. We need peace, guys. We don't need these things to continue, but it is just it's an alarming time with all these things taking place. That is for sure. Hey, Shastina, how are you, sister? And Ryan and Team Angel. But like I said at the first of this, guys, I do, and Watchman, and hello, Walter, I do have a cap on my head. Don't I? They can't see me. Carter just walked in, my daughter's granddaughter's boyfriend. Anyway, so he just come in the house, and I got to go get it. I'm like 15 minutes past the time to wash this stuff off my hair. So that's how come I did not get to read all those articles, but they are in the Wixit in the description and link below, guys. I hope you all have a wonderful afternoon, and we will have prayer here before long. Have a blessed day, guys, and we will see you all later.